26 years old. I feel old. It is a horrifying number, especially considering I grew up under the assumption that I was going to have killed myself by 18. But then I just didn't. And now I'm still here. And I don't know what I'm doing because I never thought I'd get this far. And so over the past year, I've begun to make longer term plans in life and just kind of accept, like, if I'm going to stick around, I might as well at least attempt to have some idea of what I'm doing. And of course, in the grand scheme of a life, the long term, 26 is still very young. I still have plenty of time. But it doesn't feel that way. And it's horrifying to think that 27 is next. But 25 was definitely a big turning point because I realized that I had not done any of the things that I thought I would have done by that point. I did not have the life I thought I would have created by that point, or even by 20. But for whatever reason, 25 was a bigger wake-up call than 20 was. I think 20 I was still under the assumption of like, I'll still probably kill myself at some point. But now at 25, it's like, you know what? I've just kind of had to accept that I'm probably, I don't know, maybe it'll still happen someday. But if I'm going to stick around, I might as well act like I'm planning on sticking around. And I've certainly achieved far more between 25 and 26 than I did between 18 and 25. Significantly more. This channel being one of those things. Another one of those things being this cool little thing. A 5-year question a day memory journal. Every day it asks me a question and then I answer it. So every June 23rd I will answer this question. It's the same question each day, or like a different question each day, but like the same question on that day each year. And then I do it 5 years. And I have now done this every day for a year. Now, of course, there's many days that I'll skip, and then I'll have to go back and do several questions in a row. I also avoid looking at the next day's question until the next day. Except I just now saw it while I was showing you the book. And the question was boring. I was hoping that it would be something like a jumping off point, something that would give me an idea of what to talk about or whatever. But it was, what is your favorite trend lately? There haven't really been any trends. I guess the trend of COVID cases going down would be my favorite trend lately. That's pretty nice. Let's please keep that going. But yeah, this is not at all how I expected to spend my birthday. For anyone who hasn't seen, I had a concussion 2 days ago. Posted a video about it yesterday. The video editing that it took to make that video was just way too much mental exertion. I was absolutely exhausted after that. Granted, when I'm alone and I'm watching a video or talking to a camera, it's not too bad, actually. It just requires focus, I guess. But interacting with another actual person is so much more mentally demanding. I thought it was funny that when I had a phone call with my dad, just a simple phone call was exhausting enough that I accidentally took a nap afterwards. So then last night before I was going to bed, I decided to check my phone to make sure there wasn't anyone trying to contact me or whatever, and make sure they're not freaking out of like, oh no, he's not responding. So I checked my phone. I see missed calls from my mom, so I called her and I was like, hey, talk to me and give me a headache so I can go to sleep. Yeah, I thought that was funny. I still feel mostly okay. It's just everything is slow. And also, whenever I was texting or writing in my journal, like I knew what I wanted to say, but my hand would just write the wrong word. And then I look at like, what the hell? So that's weird. It's really, wait, hold on. I had a phrase that I wrote down last night. A brain injury reveals to the mind how separate and cooperative its functions really are. It's really weird how I'm beginning to see the mind and the brain as like a body. So when you look at a body of a person, you don't just see a body. You see an arm and a leg and a stomach, and you can see the different parts of it, and you know that this part does this and this part does this. So it's like I'm starting to see that with my brain, where it's like it's not just all brain and all mind. There's like different parts of it, and they're all very separate and just interacting with one another. Whereas before, I thought it was all just it's mind. It's all there. It's way more complicated than you'd think. And of course, I've witnessed this sort of, but to a much more extreme degree, in a family member. But it's a whole nother thing to experience it. Even though it's not something that I would wish on other people for them to experience. Certainly not. But it's interesting, to me at least. But yeah, not at all how I expected to spend my birthday. I had my checkup this morning because it was either today or next Thursday, and I wasn't going to wait that long because I needed to have my checkup to get cleared to go back to work. So it'll be a few more days before I get to go back to my job, which is okay. I'm okay with having some time off, just resting and relaxing as much as possible after I'm done making this video, which, like I said, no editing on this one. Just as simple as possible. Then I'm going to get off the computer because I'm not supposed to be having too much screens. Also, I don't know why it looks so bright on the video because my blinds are closed. The video looks much brighter than the actual room itself, which is weird. But yeah, I'm going to get off the computer and just try to rest and relax. And for anyone who's seen my video about reading books, when I moved out, I took almost every book from my parents' place. Basically any book I had any interest in, and all of the children's books that I should have read growing up, but I didn't. So I was like, hey, this would be children's books require very little mental exertion, mental effort. This would be a good time to read all of those. And finish those up so I can send them back to my mom and she can read them with my nieces and nephews. Or she can donate them if she's not actually going to read it with them. That way someone can read them. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I had my checkup this morning, then a lot of driving around. Well, I didn't drive. A lot of riding around to drop off a doctor's note at this job and the other job, and go drop off this other paperwork at this other place that I was going to do on Monday after work. And no birthday party, no cake, but I got a very healthy, lovely breakfast at a local restaurant that had some nice outdoor seating. It was very quiet, very shaded. It was very nice. And just going to relax. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to do as well as I can. And I'll see you later.